To retire his jersey or not to retire his jersey? That is the question. This discussion came up online where Linus and Laker Gang in the Facebook group asked, should the Lakers retire Pau Gasol's jersey once it's all said and done? In 6.5 seasons with the Lakers, he's a 2-time NBA champion, 3-time NBA All-Star, 1-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team. Now, those are some impressive numbers. And of course, this opened up the debate with comments from Tommy saying, I say that's a no. He doesn't deserve to have that done. He's a great player and teammate, but simply because he wasn't on the Lakers long enough, I guess that's his decision. Now, up next, we had Noah jumping in the conversation, supporting Pau, saying, I get what everyone is saying about if you retire him, you have to retire a bunch of other solid role players, but I don't think that's true. He's 100% contributed more than Fisher, Cooper, or Rambis did. Those numbers don't represent the impact or even the actual stats he put up when it mattered. You can't tell the Lakers story without mentioning Pau. He's vital. If they can retire 2 Kobe jerseys, they can retire at least 1 Pau's. Interesting. Finally, featuring a comment from Reno, he said, y'all naming all these other people on the Lakers who was there, but did they contribute like Pau did? No. Soon as we got Pau, we were instant contenders. So definitely sounds like that's some support there for Pau. For me, although the latter part of his career has dropped off drastically, his contributions to the Lakers were tremendous. Would I retire his jersey? I'm not for sure if Gasol deserves to go in the rafters with the other iconic Laker legends. Am I with him going to the Hall of Fame? Yeah, of course. I'm down with that. But that's just my opinion right here on Lakers React. Now, one topic we always talk about all the time. It comes to dealing with LeBron. So why not deal with potentially Brandon Ingram throwing some shade at LeBron? That is where fans were questioning a story from Lakers Daily with the headline coming for the King. So the headline was literally coming for the King. Basically, the article drilled down into comments from Ingram and what he discussed as far as his hot start to the season and his exit from LA. Now, needless to say, comments came in like this from Kellen, who said, to talk blank about the King, you gotta be close to or better than. He not even top 30 in the league. And I hear you on that one, but the Lakers selected him number 2 on the track for a reason to be potentially a megastar. And if he wants to talk, I definitely get it. I think we're in that area where everybody has an opinion. Basically, if the Lakers, maybe their offense were featured around him, that may have helped to improve his skill set. But anyway, up next, we had Don jumping in the conversation with this to say, Zion, when you go to 8 straight finals and win some rings, then maybe you can compare. Till then, keep on learning. I think he meant Brandon, or maybe anyway, I think he's talking about Brandon. Definitely keep learning, Brandon. Now, leaning on the expertise of LeBron, I see where you're going with that one. And following up with another comment, we had Chris jumping into the conversation saying, Ingram is a bum. Game haven't elevated yet. Now, just reading that is an interesting one, because if his game has not elevated yet and he's dropping 40, it will be interesting to see what he is in the NBA when he really hones his craft. Up next, we had Daniel joining the conversation with these words. He's mad the Lakers let him go, but he's in a great basketball situation, so he needs to appreciate what LeBron did for him inadvertently. Now, not everybody came to the defense of LeBron James, including Andrew, with these words saying, well said, LeBron James is a drama queen. Pelicans AC playoffs, Lakers 9th at the end of the year. And normal result of missing the playoffs. So he's basically saying the Lakers aren't going to make the playoffs. Well, for sure, Andrew is definitely not feeling LeBron James, to say the least. Now, someone looking at the trade from a logical perspective is Jeffreezy, who said, Brandon is a good player, but the Lakers didn't have another way to get AD, so they sent Brandon. Me, I wanted Brandon back to LA, man. Of course, I love Brandon as a player. Like any other player, he had his faults, but he was a real cool kid on and off the court. That's just my thoughts on Brandon. Anyway, up next, Shylin came through saying, I can care less. Brandon Ingram is obviously still mad that the Lakers let him go, just like Lonzo Ball, just like Josh Hart. They all mad. I mean, what you think about it, I don't know. When you really look at it, are they mad? I mean, I'm sure getting traded sucks, especially when you get drafted right out of college into one of the top franchises in the NBA, only to get banished to New Orleans. I'd be a little salty too. Up next, Ted came through commenting on the whole media spin saying, anything for a story. I guess. Ingram said nothing remotely criticizing LeBron. Who in the world is in the spotlight more than LeBron? He handles that type of thing better than anyone. I hear you on that one, Ted. Nowadays, a lot of these writers use these sexy headlines just to get the click, only for you to get about 3 paragraphs into the story where they tell you the truth and the player really said nothing controversial, but they've already got your viewership or your click. Got to be careful about that clickbait, dog. That's all I'm saying. One thing is for sure about sports talk radio and television. Every season, there will always be new drama in the NBA, but nothing will stop fans and talking heads from hating on LeBron James. Now, whether you like him on the court or not, this week in the NBA news cycle, a story broke where LeBron will be assisting with providing housing for students there in Ohio. Of course, after reading that post online, fans got involved in that conversation, like this post from Kenyon who said, if you still hating on this man after this, you just have mental issues. Now, anytime you call people out for hating on LeBron James, you know the comments are coming. And with that, Dre came through saying, LMAO, you can separate the two fellas. We know him for basketball. A MFer ain't got a roof on him. Now, I could definitely get that real talk, Dre. I like your point of view. I mean, I understand you always separate. Just because you talk about somebody in the game of basketball doesn't mean that you hate them in real life. That kind of plays into the next comment from JC, who said, nobody hates him for what he does off the court. It's well known he's a great dude. It's his on-court antics people take issue with, and they're not obligated to slob on his like most bronzexuals do. Yeah, on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that comment right where it was. And up next, I got John, who said, no one hates him off the court. Dude does a phenomenal job. On the court is a different matter. Once again, being logical with this comment, John is literally saying he's separating the LeBron, the baller, versus LeBron, the community activist. Moving on to our next comment, this one came from Pamela, where my sister said, every athlete at one time say they are doing something for the needy, but they be in the situation where they are supposed to help. Now, I get that, sis. But you have to realize there are a lot of players that have come through the NBA who make that cash, ching ching, and keep it all to themselves. Kind of that scenario where they made it out of their current situation and all the money is theirs. To each his own, I guess. Now, up next, we had Ryan, who got in on the conversation saying, so he's a great athlete because of this, huh? You fools. Y'all swear these antics cover his failures on the court. That's why he does it. He has fools that use it to hide it. He still lost more finals than he won. His camp has fooled you fans yet again, LOL. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that one. Sounds like a little bit of a harsh comment, to say the least. Does LeBron only give in the community because he wants to cover up his finals losses and has nothing to do with him growing up poor, moving from home to home, and understanding the plight of poor children in Ohio and around the world? Yeah. Up next, we had a comment from Alan supporting LeBron saying, idiots be hating on this man for doing good things. Y'all the real clowns. At the end of the day, no matter what we do and no matter what LeBron does, there will always be haters. People hate other people in power no matter how much they may give in the community or do for others. It just goes with the territory, or think about it like this, as that old Spider-Man saying goes, with great powers comes great responsibility. All right. So when checking out Dwight Howard and his return to the Laker Nation, That was a move made by Rob Pelinka that received mixed reviews, hoping that he would at least do a decent job after losing DeMarcus Cousins to injury. Now, seeing Dwight in the Laker uniform has been quite surprising so far this season, with Howard literally being a double-double machine and helping power the Lakers with his defensive skills. That is why this next comment questioning Dwight being a dirty player, and a comment from John on Let's Talk NBA on Facebook, came up saying, Dwight Howard is a dirty, cheap player. He's always fouling and screwing up plays. The refs gave the Lakers a huge break because Howard held Curry by the waist. That's why Green was wide open. Howard is a waste of talent. Now, of course, with a comment like that, it did get a reaction from other fans of the Lakers. Just like this coming through with a comment, y'all mad as blank. Y'all had Luka better than Bron post ready than a mug. Of course, when the Lakers lose, the critics do come out. Y'all know that, right? And when they win, there are some that do react with a little bit of saltiness or come up with a bunch of excuses. Up next, we had Jay with a comment saying, refs were inconsistent from what I saw. LeBron was stiff-arming coast to coast and no call, but he does it in the half court and it's an offensive foul. Now, looking at this comment, we have to stop this as well. Yeah, the officials are there to make sure the game is played fairly, but depending on the refs for wins and losses and to do everything 100% accurately is kind of a waste of time, y'all. I'm just going to be real with you. Just like you have teams that are filled with professionals making millions of dollars still finding their way through the early part of the season, the officials are as well. It's early in the year, and the referees will make mistakes not only now, but all the way through the finals. Moving on, up next, we had a comment from Darren saying, LOL, y'all expect the refs to see everything while none of you knew until they came back from commercial and showed Howard on the replay. Yeah, this is definitely true. You have a ton of critics who have never played basketball or officiated a game wanting perfection when, if possible, it's not going to happen, y'all. I'm just being real. You got NBA players that know how to do what they do to get around the refs, and the refs, there's just no way they can see everything. That whole little 2-minute end of the game officiating report, if the NBA came out with a report on every game, number one, nobody would read it because it'd be too boring to see everything that they miss. But you'd be shocked how much the refs do miss each game. And if they caught everything, we'd be looking at like 5-6 hour games. Nobody ain't got time for that. I'm good on all that. In the words of an old school hip hop song, you got to chill, bro. Anyway, up next, we had a comment coming from Michael calling the Laker hypocrites out, saying, always an excuse when the Lakers win. Then when they lose, it's Lakers are trash. Bron is old and overrated. What a bum. You Bronsexuals and your queen. Y'all suck. NBA fans can be so toxic. Wow. Of course, at times the debates can get a little over the top, but that's what makes fans of any sport come together. Simply put, they love to argue about who's the best. And that had something to do with Randy's comment up next saying, Green was wide open because his man stupidly pulled off to challenge LeBron at the rim instead of figuring out there was a reason LeBron was being given that and staying home on his man. I agree with you 100% on that one. It would be like watching a football game where the only way a team could win is with a Hail Mary touchdown and nobody is defending the goal line. If it weren't for the Mavericks' lapse in defense, the haters would be talking about how trash LeBron is because he lost in Dallas to Luka. LeBron's trash. Up next, we had Aaron getting in on the conversation, praising Dwight, saying, smart play by Howard. Looking at the replay, the ref was watching the drive and playing the ball. You get away with what you can when the refs aren't looking. Yeah, like I mentioned before, there is no way to catch everything that goes on during a game. And you shouldn't be surprised how much these guys know how to cheat and get away with stuff even right in front of the officials. Finally, we had Chris joining the conversation saying, nah, you wrong. He's not dirty. None of that was intentional, or he would have got a flagrant. Sound like bitter man's fans. Well, closing this segment, yeah, it definitely sounds like a bunch of bitterness on the Lakers and that win in Dallas.